Ryan, can you pass me the wrench? I called from under the car hood, my voice echoing in the garage. He laughed. You mean the one you dropped 2 minutes ago? Yeah, that one. He handed it to me, smirking. You'd be lost without me, big brother. I smiled faintly. That's what brothers are for. Back then, I meant it. I really did. Lena appeared at the door, arms crossed, her dark hair tied in that loose knot I loved. You two planning to fix that thing or marry it? Ryan grinned. If it runs as smooth as your husband says it will, I just might. She rolled her eyes. Dinner in 20. I watched her leave, the scent of her perfume hanging in the air. My wife, my world. Ryan nudged me. Man, you really lucked out.
She's amazing, I know, I said softly.
I don't deserve her. He laughed under his breath, too quiet for me to notice the edge in it. By evening, I was late leaving the shop. My hands ached, grease still under my nails. I picked up flowers on the way home, white lilies, her favorite. I wanted to surprise her. The house was dark, except for a faint glow from the bedroom upstairs. I smiled. Maybe she'd fallen asleep reading again. Then I heard it. A laugh. Low. Familiar. Followed by a whisper. Ryan's voice. My steps froze mid-air. My heart started pounding, not fast, but hard, like it was trying to warn me. I took one slow step toward the stairs. Another laugh. Softer this time. Then her voice, Lena's, breathless, warm, the same tone she used to whisper my name at night. I stopped breathing. My hands trembled, crushing the lilies. Don't, I whispered to myself. Don't go up there. Don't see it, but my feet didn't listen. I reached the door. It wasn't fully closed. Through the crack, I saw movement. His shirt on the floor, her arm around him. My brother. My wife! Ethan won't come home early, she whispered. Ryan laughed softly. He's too busy saving the world. Stop, she said between kisses. Don't talk about him, I wanted to scream. To break the door. To ask why. But all I did was stand there, my world collapsing in silence. My mind played their words over and over until I couldn't tell if it was real. I turned away, walking downstairs like a ghost. Every step felt heavier. The flowers slipped from my hand, petals scattering across the floor like white ash. At the door, I heard their laughter again. It was strange how soft it sounded, like music fading at the end of a song. Outside, the air was cold. My chest hurt, but no tears came. I just stood there, staring at the car we fixed together that morning. My phone buzzed. A message from Lena. Don't forget milk tomorrow. I laughed, a broken sound that didn't belong to me anymore. I sat in the car for a long time, engine off, fingers gripping the steering wheel. My reflection in the windshield looked older, stranger. I didn't recognize the man staring back. I called Marcus. He answered half asleep. Ethan, you okay? I just needed to hear someone tell me I'm not losing my mind. What happened? I hesitated, then said it. Lena and Ryan, silence. Then, no, you sure? I saw them, I whispered. I heard them, he cursed under his breath. Where are you now? In the car. Don't go back in, Ethan. Come to my place. I can't, I said. Not yet. I looked at the house, my house, and realized it wasn't mine anymore. Everything inside belonged to someone else now. Marcus spoke again, voice softer. You don't have to face this tonight. I already did. When I finally drove away, I didn't look in the mirror. The lilies still lay on the floor behind me, dying in silence. I reached the main road and stopped at a red light. The world outside kept moving. Cars, people, laughter from a cafe nearby. None of them knew a man just died without bleeding. I whispered into the dark. You'll regret this. It wasn't anger. It was something deeper. Colder. That night, I didn't go home again. The walls in my new apartment were thin. Every night I could hear the neighbors arguing, laughing, living. I just lay there staring at the ceiling, hearing only her voice, his voice, over and over. Marcus knocked one morning, holding 2 coffees.
You look like hell. I feel worse. I took the cup, staring at the steam.
Do you ever think everything you built could disappear overnight? He sighed, sitting across from me. It can, but it doesn't mean you stop building. I didn't just lose her, Marcus. I lost myself. You'll find him again. I don't want to. He leaned back. Then what do you want? I want the noise in my head to stop. Silence filled the room, the kind that felt like judgment. Marcus finally said, "You should come back to work. The board still respects you." I laughed, a hollow sound. The board? They signed over my shares, Marcus. Ryan convinced them I was unstable. You didn't know? His eyes widened. What? Yeah, my brother and my wife filed a petition behind my back. Said I wasn't fit to lead after the mental breakdown. That's impossible. It's legal, I cut in. And it's done, he rubbed his temples. Ethan, listen to me. You can fight this. I'm tired of fighting ghosts. He looked at me like I was slipping away. Maybe I was. That evening, I found myself standing outside my old office building. My name was still on the glass, Hale Industries, but it looked foreign now. Like it belonged to someone else. Inside, the receptionist froze. Mr. Hale? I smiled faintly. Just Ethan now. Ryan came down the stairs, suit perfect, smile sharper than I remembered. Well, look who crawled back. I came for answers, I said. He clapped my shoulder like we were kids again. You always loved the dramatic entrance. Why? I asked quietly. Why did you take everything? He shrugged. Because you took everything first. What does that even mean? You had the company, the name, the woman. You never left anything for me. You could have asked, I said. You didn't have to steal, he laughed. You call it stealing, I call it balance. I turned as Lena appeared from the office door. Her hair was shorter, her expression colder. Lena, I said, forcing my voice steady. Do you even feel sorry? She looked away. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. But it did. Ryan smirked. Don't blame her. She just wanted to be loved. I clenched my fists. And you? What did you want? Your life, he said simply. Something in me broke. Not loudly, not violently. Just quietly, Lena whispered. Ethan, please. Leave before it gets worse. Worse? I repeated. You already took everything that mattered. Ryan leaned against the desk. You always said success was about risk. Consider this mine. I looked at both of them, their expensive suits, their smug eyes, the emptiness behind it all. I almost pitied them. I took a breath, calm and cold. You'll both regret this, Ryan chuckled. Is that a threat? No, I said. It's a promise, Lena flinched. Ryan laughed again, but it didn't sound confident anymore. I turned toward the door. My reflection in the glass caught my eye. Tired, broken, but still standing. Outside, Marcus was waiting in the car. Well, they're gone, I said. He frowned. What do you mean? They just don't know it yet. He didn't ask again. He didn't need to. As we drove away, I looked back at the building once more. My name on the glass blurred behind me, fading in the rearview mirror. That was the night I stopped being the man who begged for peace and became the one who waited for karma. The months after the betrayal felt endless. Every door I knocked on closed the same way. Polite smiles, cold eyes. My name had become poison. Marcus called one evening. Ethan, you can't keep hiding. People are starting to believe the rumors. Let them, I said, staring at the empty whiskey glass. I'm done trying to convince anyone. You're not done, he insisted. You're just bleeding. And bleeding men make bad choices. I'm not making choices, I muttered. I'm surviving, he sighed. Then start doing it properly. I want you to meet someone. Another lawyer? No, he said. An investor. He doesn't care about gossip, only results. I didn't believe him, but I showed up anyway. The cafe was quiet when we met. An older man sat at the corner table, crisp suit, steady eyes. Ethan Hale, he said, standing to shake my hand. Marcus speaks highly of you. Then you know I'm broke, blacklisted and angry, I replied. He smiled faintly. All the best founders start there. Mr. Cole, Marcus said carefully. Ethan's company was... Cole raised a hand. I've read the files. He built something once. He can build again, I frowned. You don't even know if I'm capable anymore. Cole leaned forward. Do you still hate losing? I hesitated. More than anything. Good, he said. Then you're not finished. I'll fund your next project on one condition, which is? You build quietly. No noise, no revenge, no headlines. Just results. I studied his face. Why help me? Because I like watching the fall and rise. It reminds me of myself. He slid a business card across the table. Start tomorrow. When he left, Marcus grinned. See? Not everyone's against you. I don't need everyone, I said. I just need a reason. That night, I rented a small workspace. Bare walls, flickering light, secondhand furniture. It felt perfect. I worked 14 hours a day, designing, coding, building again from nothing. Grace started helping with accounts after Marcus asked her to. She walked in carrying a stack of files and 2 coffees. You haven't eaten, she said flatly. I'm not hungry. Then drink, she insisted, pushing the cup toward me. I looked up. You're bossier than your brother. Someone has to be, she said, smiling faintly. You can't rebuild on caffeine and spite. I can try, she laughed softly. You're impossible. I've been called worse. She looked at me for a long second. I read about the scandal. You didn't deserve what they did. I did, I said quietly. For trusting them too much. Her eyes softened. That's not a crime. It is, I said. Just not one anyone punishes. After she left, I stared at the plan spread across my desk. Hail Dynamics. The name wasn't official yet, but it already felt alive. Weeks turned into months. Progress was slow but steady. Marcus dropped by often, bringing food and sarcasm. You're human again, he said once. I'm working on it. Good. Because your brother and Lena are making headlines again. Wedding photos, magazines. I saw, I said. They look happy. You believe that? I shrugged. Doesn't matter anymore. Grace overheard us and said softly, sometimes silence is the loudest revenge. Her words stayed with me long after she left. By the end of that year, Hail Dynamics launched its first product. Investors called it genius. I called it survival. Cole visited the office, inspecting every detail. You've done well, he said. It's just a start, he smiled. That's how all victories begin. As he left, I looked around the small space filled with people who believed in me. The fire inside me had changed. Less rage, more purpose. For the first time since that night, I felt alive again. 3 years can erase a lot. Names, faces, pain, but not memory. Memory has claws. Are you ready for this? Marcus asked as the elevator doors closed. No, I said. But I'm here anyway, he grinned faintly. Classic Ethan Hale. I looked at my reflection in the steel walls. Expensive suit, calm eyes, steady hands. On the surface, I was someone new. Underneath, the scars still burned. When the doors opened, the boardroom was already full. Ryan's company, Hale Tech, the empire he stole, was now drowning in debt. And today, Hail Dynamics was there to buy it. Marcus leaned in. They don't know it's you. Good, I said. Let's keep it that way. We entered. Conversation stopped. The air thickened with tension. A man in a gray suit rose. Mr. Hail Dynamics representative, we've been expecting... Ryan turned from the window, his voice sharp. Finally. I was beginning to think he froze. I met his eyes and smiled. Think what? For a moment, no one breathed. Ryan's color drained. Ethan. In the flesh. I set my briefcase on the table. I believe we're here to discuss an acquisition. Lena's voice trembled behind him. It can't be. I looked at her slowly. Hello, Lena. She took a step back. You're alive. Disappointed? Ryan tried to recover, forcing a laugh. You've got some nerve showing up here. I could say the same, I replied. This was my company once, remember? His jaw tightened. Correction. It was mine. And you're here to buy it? That's rich. Marcus cleared his throat. Mr. Hail Dynamics is prepared to finalize the deal today, Ryan scoffed. You think I'd sell to him? The gray-suited man, the chairman, spoke up. Mr. Hale, you don't have a choice. The vote was unanimous. Hail Dynamics is your best option. Ryan's voice rose. You're all making a mistake. I kept my tone level. Mistakes happen. You should know, he glared at me. You think this makes you better than me? No, I said quietly. It makes me smarter, Lena whispered. Ryan, please. He turned on her. Don't tell me what to do! I watched them. 2 people who once destroyed me, now unraveling in front of everyone. Karma had a strange sense of humor. The chairman slid papers across the table. Sign and the transfer will be complete. Ryan's hand shook as he took the pen. You won't get away with this. I already did, I said. He slammed the pen down, his signature jagged and angry. I stood, buttoning my jacket. Pleasure doing business. Ryan looked up, voice breaking. Why are you doing this? I leaned closer. Because you taught me how. He didn't answer. Lena just stood there, eyes wide, hands trembling. Lena, I said softly. I hope the price was worth it, she whispered. You don't understand. I understand enough. Marcus nodded to the team. Meeting adjourned. As we turned to leave, Ryan's voice echoed behind me. Ethan, don't walk away from me. I stopped at the door. You walked away first. The elevator ride down was silent. Marcus exhaled. That was intense. Necessary, I said. He smirked. You looked calm. I wasn't. He chuckled. You fooled them all. I looked out the glass wall as the city blurred by. Not them, myself. When I reached the lobby, employees whispered my name. Some smiled, others looked terrified. To them, I was a ghost returned to claim his kingdom. Outside, the wind felt sharp and alive. Grace was waiting by the car. How did it go? She asked. It's done. She studied my face. You don't look happy. I'm not, I admitted. Winning doesn't feel like I thought it would. She nodded. Because you didn't come back for revenge. You came back to end it. I looked up at the tower. Their tower, now mine. Maybe you're right, she smiled faintly. You finally look free. Not yet, I said. But closer than ever. People say power changes you. Maybe they're right. But sitting in my own office, watching Ryan walk in every morning with his head down, I realized it wasn't power that changed me. It was silence. Morning, he said once. Voice small? Morning, I replied without looking up. That was our ritual. 2 words, no meaning. Lena avoided even that much. She'd pass my door quickly, pretending to check her phone. Once she dropped a folder near my desk. I bent down to pick it up before she could. Thanks, she whispered. You're welcome, I said evenly. Her fingers trembled when she took it back. She didn't look at me. She never did. Grace noticed it all. She leaned against the doorway that afternoon. You could cut the tension in here with a knife, she said. I smirked. That obvious? Pain usually is. I closed my laptop. They earned this, she nodded slowly. Maybe, but you don't look like a man who's healed. I didn't answer. Healing wasn't part of my plan. That night, I stayed late reviewing reports in the empty office. The floor lights dimmed to a soft gold glow. I heard voices from the break room, familiar ones. Ryan, stop, Lena said sharply. I'm trying to fix this. His voice cracked. We can't keep living like strangers. You think I don't want to fix it? You destroyed everything. I destroyed it? You were the one who said we'd be better off without him. Her reply came like venom. You said that too. I stood there, frozen in the hall, listening. Ryan's voice dropped to a plea. Lena, please. I can't lose you, she laughed bitterly. You already did. Silence followed, then the sound of a chair scraping back. I should never have trusted you, she hissed. You wanted his life, and now you have the ashes. I heard the door slam, and Ryan's muffled sob against the counter. I didn't move. I just stood there, heart strangely calm. Grace's words echoed in my mind. You don't look like a man who's healed. Maybe I wasn't, but maybe I didn't need to be. The next morning, Ryan came into my office. His eyes were red, his tie crooked. Can we talk? He asked quietly. I gestured to the chair across from me. Go ahead. He sat fidgeting with his hands. I know you hate me. I don't, I interrupted. Hate takes effort, he swallowed. I made mistakes. I was jealous. I thought you had everything. I did, I said softly. Until you took it, his voice cracked. I didn't mean for it to go this far, but it did. He looked at me, eyes full of regret. What do you want from me? Nothing, I said. You've already given me enough, he blinked, confused. What does that mean? It means I don't need revenge. You're living it, he lowered his gaze. I wish I could undo it. So do I said. But we both know that's not how this works. He stood slowly. I'll resign. I leaned back. You'll stay. Finish the quarter. Leave properly. He hesitated. Why? Because leaving early would be easy, I said. And you don't deserve easy. He nodded weakly and left. Grace appeared moments later holding a cup of coffee. You did the right thing, I sighed. It doesn't feel like it. It's not supposed to, she said. Forgiveness never feels right at first. I looked out the window, the city lights flickering below. I didn't forgive him. Then why does it sound like you did? Her question lingered in the air. Later that week, Lena requested a transfer. I approved it without comment. When she came to thank me, her voice was barely a whisper. "Ethan," she said, eyes glistening, "I don't expect you to forgive us." "I don't," I replied. "But I don't wish you pain either," she nodded slowly. That makes it worse. When she left, I exhaled deeply. The office felt quieter, lighter somehow. Grace knocked once. "You okay?" "I think so," she smiled. "Then maybe that's a start." I watched her walk away and turned back to my desk. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like a ghost haunting my own life. Marcus burst into my office that morning, his face tight. "You need to see this." He tossed a file onto my desk. Numbers, transfers, missing funds, Ryan's signature all over it. I stared at the papers. "How much?" "Enough to bury him," Marcus said quietly. I leaned back, rubbing my temples. "Of course he'd do this. Do you want to press charges?" I hesitated. "Not yet." "Call him in." Ryan showed up an hour later, pale and trembling. His once confident stride was gone. He looked smaller somehow. "You wanted to see me?" he asked, voice cracking. I gestured to the chair. "Sit." He did, eyes darting toward the folder. "What's that?" "Your mess," I said. He swallowed hard. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Don't insult me," I replied. "You've been taking company funds to cover gambling debts." He froze, then forced a shaky laugh. "That's ridiculous." "Really?" I slid the papers toward him. "Because the trail leads straight to your account." He stared at the evidence, his shoulders sagging. "I just needed time to fix things." "You've had years," I said. "You never fix anything, you just destroy it slower." His eyes filled with tears. "Please, Ethan, don't ruin me." I leaned forward. "You did that yourself." He shook his head, desperate. "You don't understand. Lena's leaving me. Everything's falling apart. Stop." I raised a hand. "You want pity? Go find someone else." He slammed his fist on the desk. "You think you're better than me?" "No," I said quietly. "Just less desperate." He stood shaking. "You took everything from me. Lena, the company, my life." I met his eyes. "No, Ryan, you gave it all away." For a moment, he said nothing. Then his voice cracked. "I didn't mean for any of this to happen." "Neither did I said. "But meaning doesn't change consequences." He sank back into the chair, crying openly now. "What happens to me?" I exhaled slowly. "You'll resign. I'll make sure your debts are settled quietly. But you're done here." He looked at me through tears. "Why are you doing this? You could destroy me completely." "Because I already know what it feels like to lose everything," I said. "And I wouldn't wish that on anyone, even you." He buried his face in his hands. "You're cruel." "No," I whispered. "I'm tired." He left without another word. That evening, Marcus called. "You sure you don't want to go public with this?" "I'm sure," I said. "Let him disappear quietly," Marcus sighed. "You're too merciful for your own good." "Maybe," I said. "But mercy feels better than revenge." After I hung up, I found myself driving with no destination. The city lights blurred through the windshield. My hands gripped the steering wheel tighter the farther I went. Memories hit me like waves. Ryan and I as kids, building model cars on the living room floor. His laugh when we'd race down the street, barefoot and fearless. Mom yelling after us to come back before dark. Where did that boy go? I pulled over near the bridge, letting the engine idle. The wind outside carried the faint hum of the city. "Congratulations," I muttered to myself. "You won!" But it didn't feel like victory. It felt like standing in the ruins of a war no one survived. Lena filed for divorce 2 days later. I saw it in the papers, her picture beside a headline that screamed, "CEO's marriage ends in scandal." Grace stopped by my office that night. "You've been quiet," she said softly. "I've been thinking," I replied. "About him?" "About everything." She sat across from me. "You don't have to carry it anymore, Ethan. You did what you had to do." I smiled faintly. "Then why does it feel so heavy?" She reached over, placing a hand on mine. "Because winning doesn't always mean peace." I looked down at our hands, her warmth grounding me. Maybe peace comes later. Maybe it comes when you stop looking for it, she said. I exhaled, leaning back in my chair. Outside, the rain began to fall, soft, steady, cleansing. For the first time in years, I didn't feel anger. Just emptiness. Quiet, almost peaceful emptiness. The knock on my office door came softly, almost hesitant. I looked up from the paperwork, expecting Marcus or maybe Grace. But when the door opened, it wasn't either of them. Lena. She stood there, thinner than I remembered, her hair dull, her eyes hollow. The woman who once carried herself like a queen now looked like someone who'd forgotten what sunlight felt like. "Can I come in?" she asked quietly. I nodded once. "Close the door," she did, her hands trembling slightly. The air between us felt heavy, filled with everything we'd never said. "I didn't know where else to go," she began. "I tried calling, but you never answered." "I didn't see the point," I said. She swallowed hard. "I deserved that." I leaned back in my chair. "You deserve more than silence, Lena. You deserve the truth you built for yourself." Her voice cracked. "Ethan, please don't be cruel." "I'm not," I said. "Cruelty would be pretending I still care." She flinched, her eyes glistening. "I was wrong." I looked at her, really looked at her for the first time in years. "About what?" "Everything," she whispered. "About you." "About him." "About what love meant." I stayed quiet. "Let her speak." "I thought Ryan loved me more than you did," she said, voice shaking. "He promised excitement, passion. You offered stability. I thought that meant you didn't feel as deeply." A bitter laugh escaped me. "You mistook silence for indifference." Tears rolled down her cheeks. "I see that now. He used me, Ethan. When the money was gone, so was he." "I know," I said softly. Her head snapped up. "You know, Marcus told me about the divorce." She nodded weakly, wiping her tears. "I thought, maybe you'd hate me less now." "I don't hate you, Lena," I said. "I stopped hating you the day I realized you couldn't destroy what was already broken." Her lips quivered. "Then what do you feel?" I hesitated. "Pity maybe, sadness, but not for me, for you." She took a step closer. "I don't want your pity. I want a chance to make it right." "There's no right left," I said. She reached for me, her voice desperate. "Please, Ethan, I can't sleep. I can't breathe knowing how badly I hurt you." I stood, keeping distance between us. "You didn't just hurt me, Lena. You erased me. Every time you laughed with him, every time you used my name to build your new life, you buried me a little deeper." Her shoulders shook. "I was selfish. I thought I'd be happier without you. But you were the only one who ever saw me." I took a deep breath. "I did love you. That was the problem." She stared at me, stunned. "Then why can't we start over?" "Because the man who loved you isn't here anymore," I said. "You killed him when you chose my brother over me." Her sobs filled the room. She covered her face, her voice breaking. "I'm sorry." "God, I'm so sorry." I walked toward the door. "I believe you," I said quietly. "But that doesn't change anything." "Ethan, please." I paused with my hand on the doorframe. "You asked for forgiveness. You have it. But you'll never have me again." Her tears fell harder. "Then what am I supposed to do?" "Live with it," I said. She collapsed into the chair behind my desk, crying into her hands as I walked out. Her sobs echoed down the empty hall, the same way my heart once did. Outside, the night air hit my face, cool and sharp. I looked up at the city lights, their glow distant and cold. For the first time, I didn't feel pain, just quiet release. The door behind me stayed closed, and so did that chapter of my life. The cemetery was quiet, the kind of silence that hums in your ears. I stood between two headstones, Mom and Dad, hands buried in my coat pockets, breath clouding in the cold air. "I should have come sooner," I murmured, but I didn't know what to say. The wind brushed through the trees, gentle, forgiving. "I thought revenge would make me feel better," I said. "That watching them fall would fill the hole they left in me." But it didn't, it just made the silence louder. A soft voice broke through behind me. "You still talk to them like they can hear you." I turned. Grace stood there holding 2 coffees. "They probably can," I said, taking one. She smiled. "Then I hope they're listening. You've been through hell, Ethan." "I walked through it," I said. "And I built a company while burning." She tilted her head. "And now? Now the fire's out. But I don't know what to do with the ashes." Grace stepped closer. You learned to plant something in them. I looked at her, the warmth in her eyes steady, patient. You make it sound easy. It's not, she said. But peace isn't something you find. It's something you stop fighting. I let out a quiet laugh. You sound like Marcus. He learned it from me, she teased. Then her smile softened. You still dream about them, don't you? Sometimes, I admitted. The betrayal, the laughter behind closed doors, it used to replay every night. But lately, it's fading. She sipped her coffee. That's what healing sounds like. I looked back at the gravestones. I used to blame everyone, them fate myself. But standing here, I realized revenge was never about them. It was about proving I could survive what they did. Grace nodded. You did more than survive. Maybe, I said. But it cost me years I can't get back. Maybe it gave you the man you are now. I turned to her. And who's that? She met my gaze. Someone who finally knows his worth. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. The sky had that pale gold tint before sunset, the kind that makes everything look softer. I used to think I'd never feel light again, I said quietly. But lately I wake up and don't feel anger, just quiet. That's peace, she said simply. I crouched beside my parents' graves, brushing away the fallen leaves. Dad would have told me to let it go. Mom would have told me to forgive. What do you tell yourself? Grace asked. I smiled faintly. That pain changes a man, but healing defines him. She knelt beside me. Then you finally defined yourself. I looked at her, the wind lifting her hair slightly. You stayed when I didn't have anything left to give, she shrugged. I wasn't waiting for anything. I just wanted to see you stand again. I'm standing, I said. You're more than that, she replied. You're free. The word lingered between us, soft but real. I placed the empty coffee cup near the headstone. I think they'd be proud. Not of what I built, but that I didn't lose myself trying to destroy someone else. Grace smiled. They'd be proud of the man who finally forgave himself. The sun dipped lower, painting the stones in orange light. I felt something lift from my chest, like years of bitterness dissolving into the wind. For the first time, I whispered, I'm free. Grace's hand brushed mine gently. Then let's go home, free man. I stood, taking one last look at the graves. Goodbye, I said softly. As we walked back toward the car, the world felt quiet again. But this time the silence didn't hurt. It healed.